Well, all right, everybody. Hello and good day to you. Once again, welcome to MLA Kitchen. It is Friday, and that means it is kitchen day. Come on in here. We have a very special episode today. Number one, we are outside for the very first time, so we're going to give this a shot. We're live, so that means we're going to hear things that might be happening around outside. There's a lot of work happening in the neighborhood today, so you might hear some loud bangs. I'm here with my father in celebration of Father's Day coming up next weekend. My father is who taught me how to cook. When I was really small, I remember getting up in the morning and coming downstairs and making pancakes was the very first thing that we learned to cook together. And my father loves to cook. I do. And he has taught me a lot of his recipes, so that's where my passion comes from. So I'm really happy to be celebrating Father's Day and this episode of MLA Kitchen coming from my childhood home and my dad to you guys all around the world.
So, welcome everybody. Nice to see you.
All right, so we're going to get started here.
I'm going to wash my hands.
Perfect. So we are going to be making burgers, so that means we're going to be having some raw beef. We're going to get started with the ingredients today. So let me go back here and show you the ingredients. All right. So today for the cheeseburgers themselves, we're going to be using 1.5 pounds of the ground beef or the ground chuck. 80% of the beef, 20% of the fat is the right mix for us. We're going to use a little bit of Worcestershire sauce for the flavor of that, some seasoning salt, a little bit of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of that ground black pepper to round that out. Now we've got a great burger sauce that we're going to be using today as well. For our burger sauce, we're using 1/2 cup of mayonnaise or like salad dressing. We're using 2 tablespoons of a French dressing, like a tangy French dressing. 4 tablespoons of a sweet pickled relish or sweet pickles chopped up fine. 1 tablespoon of white onions. We're going to finely mince those into the sauce. A little bit of white vinegar, a dash of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Don't forget, all of the recipes are being sent to you guys at the end of the webinar today. So you're going to get all that information coming out here in just a few minutes. Okay, let me go put this away. All right, and we'll go ahead and get started now with making our homemade burgers. And I'll turn that over to my father here, who's going to get us started.
Okay, so you have your pound and a half of 80-20 ground. You're going to start kind of breaking that up, mixing it up.
So when he says 80-20 ground beef, what we're talking about is the ratio between the lean meat and the fat. Okay, so we want 80% of the lean beef, and we're going to use 20% of the fat in there. If this is the right mixture for burgers because you want a little bit of fat that's going to keep your burgers really juicy inside. If you want something a little bit healthier, a lot of stores you can find 90% beef, 10% fat. I wouldn't recommend all lean beef for burgers. You need a little bit of fat, otherwise your burgers are going to be pretty dry.
You're adding your Worcestershire sauce.
All right, so we've got our Worcestershire sauce going in there. It's about 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, or Worcestershire sauce, however you pronounce it at home.
That's your ground black pepper.
So this is regular ground black pepper. It's about 1/4 teaspoon is what we have on our recipe today, but you can adjust that to your taste as well if you like a little bit of extra pepper.
Okay. A little bit of garlic powder for flavor.
Garlic powder, always important in burgers. If you don't have the garlic powder, of course, you can add some fresh garlic. You can mince that up. Probably want about 1 teaspoon of the fresh garlic, but garlic goes well on everything, especially in burgers.
You have your basic seasoning, special seasoning, or any type of special seasoning you want to add to it.
So that's
give it flavor.
Like a seasoning salt. So it's like a base of salt, but it has some other flavors mixed into it for that. So our seasoning salt there, we're going to do about, let's say about 1 teaspoon of that seasoning salt.
And a pinch of regular salt.
And a pinch, of course, of just your regular fine sea salt going into the burgers there. And now's the fun part.
Basically, mix it, get it kind of together.
So this is the great opportunity to do it with your family. So if you've got young kids at home, all of our junior chefs that watch our episodes, this is the opportunity for you guys to really get in there with your hands, get in there and mix that meat up. You want all of those spices and all of those seasonings really incorporated inside of the meat there. Some people at this stage would also maybe add an egg that would help kind of bind the burger together. You can even put a little bit of breadcrumb in your burgers. That's not on our recipe today, but you can use all different types of variations. and a great opportunity to do some more seasonings too if you have something special. If you wanted something maybe like a chili, you could put a chili in here chopped up too. If you like things just a little bit spicy, that would be a really great alternative coming inside. So I'll let you form the burgers. I'm going to go check the chat to see what's going on with the webinar.
Once you got it meat pretty much put together, I'm going to put it on a cutting board.
All right. So yeah, so my mom and my dad are both really good cooks. That's what somebody had just said on there. So yeah, I learned all my cooking skills from both my mom and my dad, but my earliest memories was cooking pancakes with my dad inside of the house.
And same with me, my earliest memories, my family was in catering. We used to go out, when I was about 8, 9 years old, go out on the catering jobs and learn to cook, learn to have some fun, met some very interesting people, always enjoyed them. So basically what you have your ground beef now laid out. It's kind of formed in, all the ingredients have kind of been moved in together. And what you want to do is kind of just divide it into, this will make about 4 really nice burgers. So you want to just divide this into 4s. So
yeah, there we go. So we're just going to use our hands. We're going to divide that beef, like you said, into 4 equal parts just on your cutting board. And that's a good idea that you know how they're all going to form their burger patties equally.
And you kind of just form them into some rounds.
I think one of the important things about a good cheeseburger, and I think it's probably the same with meatballs, right? You don't want to overwork the meat too much, okay? So you want to make sure that you're just going to form it till it gets its shape, but the more that you work with the meats, the tougher that it gets. So you want to just do it just enough that it gets into the patties without overworking your burger patties too much. Now it's morning here in Baltimore, Maryland, but of course we're still going to be cooking these delicious burgers, and we'll try one. These will be like a breakfast burger for us, but you know, burgers, of course, are such a classic American thing. Barbecues for Father's Day. The most important thing, if you've got beautiful weather like we have today, is to get outside, turn on the barbecue, and get ready to go. So here we go. We've got some nice looking burgers here. So these are all pattied up like my dad has said. He's got them about, they're about 3/4 of an inch thick. I'll show you one in the camera. And then you definitely want to make sure that we're seasoning the tops of the burgers, right, with some salt. So even though there's some salt in the mixture, always important with the beef to make sure that you've got a good mix of salt and pepper on side of those. Okay, so I'll show you one of the patties. So here's one of the patties that's done right there. That's about how thick it is. It's going to be about the thickness of a finger. Okay, and that's what's going to make sure that you've got a nice juicy burger going into there. And there's one more trick that we're going to want to show you. So a lot of times when you've got your burgers, when you put them on the grill and they're a homemade burger, sometimes you get them and they turn into like balls. To prevent it from doing that, the trick is take your thumb and you're just going to make an indentation just into the center of the burger. What that's going to do, it's not going to allow them to steam up on the inside. It's going to cook nice and evenly all the way through. So we're going to finish this out here. We're going to put our thumbprints just inside the center of these burgers. Awesome. There we go. All right. Now, Dad already has the grill. It's been preheated to medium-high heat, about 375 degrees in Fahrenheit. If you don't have a barbecue, you can go ahead and do this in a skillet. So go ahead and get these on the grill here. Now you want to make sure too that it's going onto a hot barbecue. So you want to make sure it's preheated for at least 10 minutes. That's going to also help the burgers from sticking onto the grates of your grill. So a really nice hot barbecue is what we're looking for. And you probably can't hear it on the microphone, but there's a beautiful sizzle right now from the grill. All right, perfect. So that is 4 burgers onto the grill, medium-high grill that's preheated for 10 minutes. We're going to do the burgers for 4 minutes per side. Okay, so 4 minutes on the front side, then you're going to flip them and go 4 minutes. A big mistake a lot of people make is sometimes they flip the burgers too many times. So you really only want to flip the burger one time. So you want to cook for 4 minutes, then you want to flip it, you want to cook it for another 4 minutes, and then you got to let it rest for just a little bit more time, okay? So here we go. It's on the grill. You can start to see the smoke coming off the grill now. The smell is incredible. I'm going to go wash my hands real quick, and we're going to come back and we're going to make a burger sauce to go with these fabulous American burgers, okay? Be right back. All right, so my grill master is back here. He's watching the grill. He's gonna make sure that we've got them 4 minutes on each side. He'll check them to make sure that we're not getting too much flare-ups happening on there. You can just see the beautiful smoke, but if you could smell it, it's really incredible. I hope you guys are all hungry out there. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and make our burger sauce. Now, I've gone ahead, I've turned over the cutting board to the other side because we were working with raw meat. On the other side. So it's important to make sure that you use the other side of your cutting board so it's a nice clean surface for this. So this sauce is going to be something like what you might get at like a burger chain, like, you know, the one with those big golden arches. Okay, so we're going to try to make something that's very similar to that. We're going to start with a little bit of mayonnaise. This is a half cup of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise or like salad dressing, whatever you find, whatever you have there. You're going to put that inside of the bowl. So there's a half a cup of mayonnaise going in. Perfect. And next to that, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of French salad dressing. This is just a tangy French dressing. I don't know if there's another good substitute for this, but it would probably be like a little bit of tomato paste, a little bit of water, a little bit of vinegar maybe to make it tangy. But if you get a French dressing, that's what you're going to want to put inside. And that's going to give us some great color too. That's 2 tablespoons of the French dressing. And then we're going to use some pickled relish. Now in the United States, we could easily get this pickled relish. Pickled relish comes to us in a jar. It's a sweet pickled relish. It's got a beautiful green color to it. If you can't get this pickled relish in your store, all you just need to do is get some sweet pickles, chop them up really nice and fine. This is going to be 4 teaspoons of that sweet pickle relish going inside. All right. I'm now going to use 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. That's going to give that tang to that sauce that we want. So it's 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. And I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of sugar. So 1 teaspoon of sugar is going to go inside. That's going to balance out with all that vinegar that we just put inside of that. Now, to this, we're going to need some onion. So we're going to go ahead and take our white onion here, and we're going to give that a nice fine mince on the onion. Okay. So here we go. You only need about a tablespoon of the white onion. So you don't need that much onion, but what you really want is you want this to be really nice and fine. You don't want to bite into big chunks of onion when you're making a sauce. So it's really important that we have a very fine chopped onion for this particular recipe. All right, Chef, Grill Master, how are we looking?
We're coming up on the 4-minute mark in about 20 seconds.
All right.
With burgers.
All right, so we're almost ready to flip. I will get out of the way of the camera. I'll let you see him flip those burgers when the time comes. I'm still working on my onions to get them into really small pieces. Flip time.
4 minutes.
All right, 4 minutes. Here we go.
Color come through. Underneath.
So because we didn't flip them multiple times, you're going to get those beautiful grill marks just on the top of the burgers. Ah, they're really incredible. A lot of smoke coming off here. Smoke means flavor. It's really awesome. We'll go ahead and check that. We got 4 more minutes now on the back side of the burger. So 4 more minutes on that. I still got to work a little bit here on my onion. So you can put anything on your cheeseburgers that you want. A lot of people in the United States, we use a lot of ketchup, okay, tomato ketchup. Some people down in Texas, they like barbecue sauce. Also very popular to use bacon. People put bacon on them. Jalapeno peppers or chilies, really popular. If you're in California, sliced avocado on top of your cheeseburger. Avocado from California is like nothing in the world. It's really incredible. So if you like avocado, think about a California burger with some fresh avocado. Okay, I almost have the onions how I want them. The finer I get my onions, the least you're going to see of them inside of the sauce. So that's why we want to make sure they're really nice and fine minced on these onions. Okay, perfect. There you go. Now I only need about a tablespoon worth of the onions. That's all I'm looking for. So inside of there. So there we go. 1 tablespoon inside. The rest we can use as the topping. We can put them on top of our burgers. So we'll be really good. So here we go. So everything is inside now. I'm going to give my sauce a nice stir. It's coming together nice. It's got a beautiful color. It's nice and thick, so it'll stay right on top of those beautiful burgers. Okay. Of course, we want to always finish with a little bit of pinch of the salt, a little bit of black pepper. Voila, just like that. One more stir. And of course, a good chef, you always got to taste. Beautiful. Here you go. Some beautiful homemade burger sauce. Like I said, you probably had a sauce very similar to this if you've eaten out at one of those big chain restaurants, particularly the ones with those big golden arches that you see all around. So that's our burger sauce to go on top. I'm also going to take a beautiful tomato. We're going to get a beautiful tomato sliced up here. Okay. So we've got a few more minutes on the burgers. It's really the perfect time of year now. We're starting to get some beautiful, fresh local tomatoes that are going to be out there. These are really great. Some of you guys are very fortunate. You get beautiful slices of tomatoes all year round. For us in Baltimore, we have to wait until the summertime or late spring for us to get those really good burgers. Okay. Now with a good tomato, want to bring out that flavor. Again, a little pinch of salt. Always seasoning. There we go. I like a little bit of pepper. We're going to get ready now to start to build our burgers. So we've got our sauce, we've got our tomatoes and things here. All right. How are we looking, Chef?
We're ready to put cheese on. We are 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
All right. So if you want cheese on your burger, and I don't trust anybody that doesn't put cheese on their burger, but if you want cheese on your burger, when you have 1 minute left, you're going to put the cheese slices just on top of those burgers. Let me see if I can steal one from him, though, and I can show you what it looks like. All right, so here we go. So I still have 1 minute on this, so look at the beautiful grill marks on the side of the burger here. It's unbelievable. It's so juicy.
At this point, we've cut the flame on the grill.
So now we want the flame on low. So we're going down to a low flame or even turn it off at this point. The heat from that grill is going to melt that cheese for us just perfectly. All right, I've got some beautiful buns here, so I'm going to start to lay out my burger buns. Okay, voila, we've got that coming in here. And now we're going to have the fun part. We're going to actually start to build out these beautiful burgers. So I like to take a little bit of our burger sauce. I like to go just here on the bottom, a little bit here. Now it's optional. If you want to put your burgers onto the barbecue for a minute, you can get a nice toasted bun. I like a nice soft bun, so I'm not one for toasting my buns on side of there. Okay. There we go, a little bit more of that burger sauce on the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my tomato slices. I'm going to put them onto the top half of my burger buns. Just like that. All right. Now when the burgers come off, we want the burgers to rest. They need to rest for like at least a minute, hopefully 2 minutes or more. That's going to keep all those juices inside of them for that. I've got some beautiful lettuce here. So we're going to put some lettuce on top of these burgers as well. a little piece of lettuce. The burgers smell amazing. So here we go. The burgers are going to go on my cutting board right now. They're going to rest. The cheese is amazing. How about some pickles? I love dill pickles. I'm going to make sure we get some pickle slices on our burgers. Okay, so just on top of our lettuce there with our pickles. Our beautiful burgers have come off. They're going to rest now. Just like that. Now you can also put some chopped onion on here. You can really use any topping that you want. So here's your opportunity to be creative as well. So you find those different toppings and things that you want. Let me just show you this board before we assemble our final burger because this is amazing. So these are beautiful homemade burgers right here with our melted cheese on top. You can use any cheese, preferably like a not a soft cheese, but not a super hard cheese. You want something maybe like a cheddar. This is just an American cheese. Provolone would work really well. Our burgers, we've got our burger sauce on here on side of the bun as well. So burger sauce, all of our fixings. Doesn't that look amazing? Okay, so here we go. So our burgers are resting. Now, we want to serve some burger accompaniments. So I've got some classic chips here. Father's Day, always nice for some beautiful fresh fruit. Let's go ahead and put one together. All right, chef, come on up here and let's build a burger. So we've got our burger bottom that's going to be right here. Let's go ahead with the burger on. Excellent. We're going to put our burger then topper. It's going to come right on to the front of that one. Voila. We can hold it all together by putting in just a little bit of a pick. We're going to do a nice handful of our chips. I like chips, crisps. We're going to put them there. How about some fruit? My dad's favorite fruit. There's some mango in here. A little bit of watermelon. Just like that. All right, so here we go. And here's our finished product. There's nothing more American than a homemade cheeseburger on a beautiful spring or summer day with some crisps, a little bit of fresh fruit salad. It looks like just the absolute perfect burger. Should we slice into it? All right, let's take a slice into it and see what it's gonna look like. So we'll pull out our little pick here. Let's come on in. All right, so there you go. I'll show you the inside of the burger. You can have that one there. I'll walk this up. Look at this. That is what you want the inside of your burger to look like. Look at that beautiful color going through. You see the cheese has come through. Look how juicy that is inside. You can see the juices running out. Burger sauce, fresh tomato, a little bit of lettuce. How does it taste, chef? Hey, chef. What do we think? What do we think? It's early in the morning, but it's never too early for a fresh cheeseburger. That's well done. That's very good. That's very good. Very delicious. Very delicious. So there you go. So we'll have our other cheeseburgers here. We'll go ahead and we'll assemble those. So we've got our plate. You've got enough to feed a crowd. You can double this recipe if you've got a really large family coming over. Again, if you don't have a barbecue, a cast iron skillet would be the perfect way to go ahead and put this together. So you can do the cast iron skillet on medium just inside. Just make sure that you've got a fan going inside of your kitchen because it can get quite smoky. You saw that from our barbecue that's going to be on out here. Let me go ahead and run in and check the computer. Let me see if there's any questions that might be out there. I can't do audio today because we're outside, but if you have any questions, type them in, and I'll be right back. I don't know, it looks like we must have done a perfect job. I don't see many questions that are out here for today. Well, that's awesome. Well, I really want to say thanks to my father for having me up here back to my house. I want to thank him for inspiring me on how to cook and how to become an excellent chef. I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. We'll be sending these recipes out to you guys so you'll get the full recipe, both the homemade burgers and also the burger sauce. That'll be coming to your way. Check your emails. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Always enjoy.
All right, guys. From the MLA family, happy Father's Day next weekend to all the dads out there. We're going to take next week off in MLA Kitchen, but we're going to be back the following week. It's going to be our final episode of MLA Kitchen. So don't miss us in 2 weeks on Friday. Go to MLAworld.com or follow us on any social media, Facebook or Instagram, for more information on our upcoming webinars. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to wrap up our fabulous MLA Kitchen series. A big thanks to all you guys for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, everybody.
Say happy Father's Day to fathers.